Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video, and let's thank our members, Invictors and Gods, and our patrons, Interceptor, Richardson, Rupert, Danny Cage, and B Cubed. Thank you guys, it helps a lot. Thank you all the members, all the patrons, and let's get into it. Subscribe, we're trying to hit 15k until the end of the year. I don't know if we can, but still, help me out there, and let's get going guys. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the amazing EJ canal. So yeah, this aircraft is actually becoming a little bit of one of my favorites actually, because it is kind of a problematic one, right? It is still an F4, still has the normal GE engines, so it's not particularly fast or anything like that. It is sluggish. It is basically a bus, right? But there is a catch to it. It has the APG-66, which is the F-16 Raider. It has the AIM-9L's now that it's receiving, as you see there, under the wings there. AIM-9L's, which is the F-16 missile. And then it has the AIM-7F, which would be the BVR missile that the F-16s used as well. So it is basically a wolf in sheep's clothes, you know? So it is an aircraft that will have a lot of troubles dealing with a lot of aircraft, especially the newer, you know, fourth generation aircraft that are being added. But the more we go into the future, the better the weaponry these aircraft can actually have. And with that, we kind of have a chance of actually dealing with them. This is an example that even with all of these weapons, it's still difficult to fight anything that it's not another F4 or an F-104 or something like that. Especially a MiG-29, especially a MiG-23 that turn way better than you. They will out-accelerate you. They will basically do anything better than you. So having the MatAWG, the AIM-9L right now, it is kind of needed. And to be honest, many aircraft will probably get more AIM-9L's or anything like that in the soonish future, just after the patch is released, if not more, on the patch itself, just due to these situations. Look at the MiG-29, man. I cannot do anything against it. I cannot outturn him, I cannot outrun him. He has a better everything than me. So it's basically me trying to make him overshoot sometimes. That's basically what I can do against it. And yeah, if the pilot is actually paying attention, yeah, it's not gonna work. So yeah, here I decided to go for it. And as you see, it's, yeah, it did work a little bit, but then I got killed by another MiG. So yeah, it's problematic. I understand that it is an aircraft that has its problems. It still will be sluggish. It still will have a kind of a slowish way of accelerating. I mean, look at the acceleration on this thing. I mean, it's not a very, very fast aircraft, right? So even the Beast like can outrun this thing very quickly. So yeah, it's problematic. But this will be the main force of Japan for a while now. Obviously, for Japan, we can basically only have the F-15J and the F-2, and they're both, I mean, the F-15J can be added depending on the weaponry that it gets, but in a general sense, that the F-2 is too advanced. So yeah, we are kind of stuck with this for a while, and I feel like we are going to even get more advanced weaponry in the future, because it's going to be the only way to deal with this fourth generation aircraft. The radar is still very, very limited in most ways. It doesn't have TWS, the pulse Doppler, even though it's a very good pulse Doppler. It has some blind speeds, so yeah, that can be a problem as well. So it is just one of those aircraft that, even though yeah, it's going to be on paper very good, just due to the missiles, is still going to have a lot of troubles. So be aware of that. But it just shows that with the proper missiles, even with the proper missiles, these fourth generation aircraft, they're advanced, man. So yeah, write this down, man. I think we are going to get more aircraft with this type of missile. We already got the MiG-23s and MiG-21s with in the dev, right, with the R60Ms. But we will probably see F-4F's receiving AIM-9L's or something like that. Others receiving 9P4s. I mean, maybe some aircraft like, I don't know, the F-5E, for example, maybe didn't carry the AIM-9L, but it can receive the AIM-9P. But yeah, it's going to be the only way to keep this aircraft a little bit playable. Because if not, these MiG-29s and F-16s and all sorts of fourth generation aircraft will dominate so much that it's not going to be fun, right? So yeah, and even as I was saying, the EJ Kai itself, it can receive the AIM-7M, it can receive the AIM-3, which is a domestically built missile for Japan. So yeah, it can receive some fairly cool stuff, and it will make it a little bit more, playable, basically. But I still think that it's going to be not a very meta aircraft. That's kind of right. Like, it's kind of obvious that it's not going to be meta. Even with the AIM-9L, the thing is, you will need to get people from kind of farther away, right? Because if you get close, you will die for them. It's just, there's no way that you can actually live. Because everything is better, as I said. So yeah, it's problematic, but at least they are considering that we need better stuff and actually adding it. So for example, the AIM-9L right now for the F4. So yeah, and it's a very good missile, as you see here. Very long range shots, it went for the flares. Obviously the AIM-9L, a lot of people complain about the R60M being flare hungry, but the AIM-9L is not that different, to be honest. Especially, I mean, in rear aspect situation, the AIM-9L is better, but in all aspect situations, or in a general sense, in a head-on or something like that, it is not that effective. It really is not. I try to always maintain my shots. I had them shots for the AIM-7s and then proceed with the AIM-9L's for the rear aspect shots. That will increase a lot of the hits, but still it's problematic, right? It's not a very hard missile to actually avoid for now. And yeah, it's interesting. I will have to make another video like this, talking a little bit more once I actually play it on the live server. Obviously the patch is coming out next week, if I'm not mistaken. It's probably coming out next week, right? And with that, it will be very, very filled with many types of videos that I want to do, especially testing and flying all the new aircraft, even the premium ones, for you to decide if you want to buy it. But still, even with that, you know that it's not going to be that fun for these type of aircraft. But it's maybe not that fun even for, I mean, I don't know, we are getting the 11.7 BR, so a lot of the 11.0s and 10.7s will probably pull like its own BR kind of gap there, right? And with that, maybe these 11.0s can actually, or 11.3s even, can face some down tiers, because facing 4th generation will be hard, man. Especially the MiG-29, especially the F-16. They're way too good, man. It's not even a joke. They're good aircraft, amazing aircraft. So yeah, as I said, a lot of these aircraft will need to have better missiles to deal with these situations, and the EJ Kai is just the first one. It is kind of the pinnacle of that, because the Japanese Tech 3 cannot receive anything else for now. So they kind of only have this to actually deal with targets for a while, as I said, but still it's there are some others that deserve a little bit more love as well. Like I said, F-4F, F5 maybe, the F-4E maybe, and I'm not even saying about AIM-9L's, right? AIM-9P4s are there for that, man. They're lower range, and the seeker is basically the same as the AIM-9L, so it's like, come on, right? It's not that big of a deal, right? So I don't know, it's just kind of weird. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments, and I see you guys on the next